And I just wanted to give a big thank you to the residents of Paulsboro, not only the ones that are here today and speaking out, but all of the residents, because quite frankly, Paulsboro is a community that shouldn't be dumped on. And right now, the Christie administration is exerting a policy that's going to continue a legacy of toxic pollution here in town, and a legacy of not cleaning up its own mess. The DEP most outrageously said that the inclusion of 16 toxic Exxon sites and more than 800 gas stations around the state were a de minimis addition to the settlement. Now, for those of you that aren't Latin scholars, there's nothing de minimis. There's nothing, that's virtually nothing about these additional sites that are being included. This was really a toxic addition to a dirty deal that already was on the books. In 1985, there was an oil spill of over 130,000 gallons. There were a documented 9 other major additional spills that contaminated more than 100,000 gallons of groundwater. The plume spread to over 300,000 gallons of groundwater, over 63 acres. This is not one isolated incident. This is a repeated practice by Exxon of creating an environmental disaster and not cleaning up. We actually have a moment here as New Jersey residents to do something about this, other than just throwing our hands in the air. There's a comment period that's going to end next Friday. We're going to be able to deliver comments directly to DEP to say to reject this settlement, and there's a chance that the judge will intervene and say the settlement does not reflect the environmental damage that's been done. Look, because it's not just residents in Paulsboro and Linden that are outraged. It's residents across the state, whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, or independent. This deal stinks, and New Jerseyans know it. We've seen a tremendous amount of opposition from this deal in the legislature, but it's time for our elected leaders, and especially the Senate President, who represents Paulsboro, to step to the table, not only to be working against the settlement, but to be supporting one of the maneuvers that clearly the Christie administration is taking into account, which is not only they want to let Exxon off the hook, they want to raid that money. They want to raid that settlement money to plug a budget gap. And Senator Bob Smith, who chairs the Senate Environment Committee, has heard testimony on a Senate resolution, SCR 163, to ensure that all environmental settlement monies go to their intended purpose, which is cleaning up the environment, not to plug a budget gap. That legislation is going to be heard in the Senate Environment Committee, and it's paramount that the Senate President Sweeney, as well as the Assembly Speaker, Vincent Prieto, take action and work to pass that resolution, because the governor, we know exactly what the governor is doing. We know he wants to let Exxon off the hook and plug the budget gaps with this settlement money. And New Jerseyans aren't going to stand it. And we need our elected leaders to join the public, join Paulsboro residents, join Linden residents to stand up against this dirty deal. Thank you.